Hey guys, welcome. This is Kayangel, Abyss Dungeon Gate 3 and Gate 4 guide video. If you want to know about the rewards or Gate 1, Gate 2 guide video, there is a video for that in the description below. Then let's get started. Gate 3, battle items. Whirlwind for stagger or dark grenade for more damage. Panacea or sacred charm is needed for a specific gimmick. This boss uses 3 different elemental attacks during the whole fight: green, red, and blue. Whenever you get hit by them, you get stacks of bleed debuff for several seconds. Major gimmicks. Around 62 HP bar, the boss moves to the center and summons green, red, and blue artifacts. Then she will shoot orbs to each of the artifacts for 6 times. 3 people have to go and take the orbs from each path. Every time you take the orb, you have to move counterclockwise and keep on taking the orbs. After you take the orbs for 6 times, then she will show a color beneath her. You have to destroy the correct color artifact, which has advantage over the shown color. Think about Pokemon. In Pokemon, grass is strong against water, water is strong against fire, and fire is strong against grass. In this case, she shows red, so all of you have to destroy the blue artifact. Then you will survive from the wipe attack, and that's the end of the gimmick. There are some tips you have to know during this gimmick. 1. Before the gimmick starts, if you already got an elemental debuff from the fight, you will have to remove the debuff by using Panacea or Sacred Charm or Cleanse skills from certain classes. The reason is because if you take the first orb while having a debuff, you will instantly get killed. 2. For the 3 people who take the orbs, it's better for them to be DPS classes, because every time the players take the orbs, they receive some damage, and supporter can use shield skills for the party mate from the outer side. 3. When you destroy the artifact, all of you have to stick close to it since you will not get the buff that prevents the wipe attack if you're too far from it. Around 40 HP bar, the boss moves to the center and summons 3 clones. The boss will require stagger check, but she has a shield on. The clones require counter. To remove the shield, you have to succeed all the counters. When you succeed the first counter, you can reset the cooldown of your counter skill, and the second clone will spawn and require counter again. So you will have to counter 6 times in total. In normal mode, only 3 clones come out, so 3 times in total. After you succeed all the counters, her shield will be removed, so stagger her and that's the end of the gimmick. If you fail the counter and stagger in time, then that's a raid wipe. Around 20 HP bar, the boss moves to the center and summons 3 round tiles with different colors. There are orbs on the tiles. You have to destroy the correct color orbs that have advantage over the color of each tiles. Again, it's same as Pokemon type advantage. You destroy red orbs on green tile, blue orbs on red tile, and green orbs on blue tile. To assign the position efficiently, one person takes over 12 o'clock of the outer tile and goes counterclockwise. Another person takes over 6 o'clock of the outer tile and goes counterclockwise as well. Rest of 2 people take over inner tile and middle tile each. If you destroy the wrong orbs or fail to destroy the correct orbs, then you will receive massive damage that can almost kill you, and she will heal herself up to around 25 HP bar. In this case, you have to take her down to 20 and do this gimmick again. If you succeed destroying correct colors, then stay out of the tiles since tiles will explode at the end. After they explode, that's the end of the gimmick. Important normal patterns. 3 artifacts. Green, red, and blue artifacts spawn around the center. The artifacts shoot an orb to one direction, and when the orb reaches the artifact, it gets removed. This is what you want it to happen, because if the artifacts are not removed, then they will explode, which does massive damage to nearby players, so do not get hit by the orbs and just let it go through. If you do get hit by the orbs, then it's still okay since you can destroy the artifacts by using skills. Spacebar pattern. The boss imprisons all the players, displaying spacebar pattern. Then she will show either blue or black pulse. If she shows blue, you should not complete the spacebar. If she shows black, then you have to complete the spacebar and that's the end of the pattern. If you do it in an opposite way on any color, then you will die. It's better to increase the bar right before the completion to prepare for it. Finding the safety zone. The boss disappears and shows 5 glowing areas. The one that glows brighter than other 4 is the safety zone, so you just stay there. Gate 4. Battle items. Flame grenade for a certain pattern or dark grenade for more damage. Time stop is useful in the certain pattern as well. Major gimmicks. Around 180 HP bar, the boss disappears. Then he will do 3 times of slash attacks. Dodge the attacks. After the slash ends, there will be a cutscene, and the boss will teleport to the player who was in the center during the cutscene. Also, there will be stones on the corner side of the map. From this point and until the end of the raid, you will do 0 damage on the boss. To do the damage, you have to light up the stones by making the boss land any patterns on the stones. This gimmick, for example, the boss teleports to the player and summons a wall that pulls the player. If you get hit by the wall, your HP becomes 1 HP and get knocked out. After a few seconds, he shoots laser to that target. You have to either let the wall reach the stone or aim his laser to the stone to light it up. When it turns yellow, attack the stone and it will give you a 2-minute buff that will allow you to do normal damage on the boss. The player who attacked the yellow stone will be surrounded by an aura, and other partymates can share the buff by rubbing each other. Destroyed stone will revive on that spot over the time, and you can renew the buff whenever you attack the yellow stone. Even though the buff duration is 2 minutes, it's better to clear the stones that are already yellow, because if it's not taken for a certain time, then it will shoot laser to a random player, which will remove the buff. Around 140 HP bar, the boss moves to the center and shoots laser in 3 ways. You have to stagger him in a special way. First player has to touch any side of laser, and that will allow him to shoot laser to where he's looking at. The second player needs to touch the laser from the first player and shoot it to where the third player is at. The third player takes the laser and shoot it to the last player, and the last player have to shoot the laser to the boss to stagger him, and that's the end of the gimmick. One thing you have to watch out is that you should not touch the black circle. Also, whenever the players shoot the laser, they will be surrounded by a yellow circle. The next player have to take the laser outside of the circle and shoot it to the next player. If you touch either the black or yellow circle, the player will freeze, and that's a raid wipe. Around 100 HP bar, the boss moves to the center and everyone have to gather in the center as well. Then you will see 2 times of white glow on random side of the floor. You have to memorize the sequence and the position where it glowed. You will also see a lot of yellow orbs on the field. Initially, some will glow white and some will glow black. In that short moment, you have to also memorize the color of these orbs on your side of times 3+1 direction. In this case, since I'm number 3, I just have to memorize the colors on 11 o'clock side. Then each players have to go to their direction and take 5 white orbs. Taking 5 white orbs gives you a shield that prevents you from a wipe attack at the end of this gimmick. You also have to watch out for the AoE attacks on the floor. After several seconds, there will be a shade on the direction of the first glow. Even if you didn't take all 5 white orbs, everyone have to gather inside the shade to dodge the solar beam that falls from the sky. This solar beam guaranteed kills you if you're out of the shade. Then go to the direction of the second glow since the second solar beam will strike as well. Hide in the shade until the solar beam ends. Then the boss will release an energy that will kill players who doesn't have the shield from getting 5 white orbs. If you survive from all these, that's the end of the gimmick. If you take a black orb, then you will lose a stack of white orb and get stunned. So you will have to take 6 white orbs in that case. The problem is, there's only limited amount of white orbs in the map, so other players have to ping the white orbs on their side to let him survive. You can dodge the solar beam by using time stop, but you cannot dodge the energy release at the end. Around 60 HP bar, the boss moves to the center. Multiple statues and swords spawn at the corner of the map, and players will be isolated. All the players have to browse from 12 o'clock to clockwise direction and ping on 3 swords that have characters written. In this way, all the players will also see a ping on 1 statue as well. The statue will require stagger check, and you have to stagger it in time to get a shield. If you get the shield, then you will survive from the guaranteed kill attack, and that's the end of the gimmick. If you stagger the wrong statue, you will die. So this is like Viking's Gate3 statue and sword gimmick, where you have to ping the objects that can't be seen from other people's view. After the 60 HP bar gimmick, you will get stacks of debuff that increases incoming damage over the time. This is not cleansable, so you have to kill the boss as soon as possible. Also, the boss will periodically use following pattern until the end of the raid. There will be a white glow on the random side of the floor. Soon, a shade will appear on that side, and players have to hide in the shade to avoid the solar beam just like the 100 HP bar gimmick. The problem is the boss tries to pull the players out of the shade, so you will have to hold your pointer to stay in the shade not to die from the solar beam. After the solar beam, the boss shoots laser to a player, dodge it, and that's the end of the pattern. You can also use time stop right before the solar beam to survive. Important normal patterns. This boss has small patterns and big patterns. He normally uses one big pattern after 3 small patterns, and this repeats. Small patterns. Shooting blade. The boss fires blade in the front. The shot spreads doing AoE attack. Spreading orbs. The boss fires orbs around the map. The orbs do AoE attack. Wi-Fi. The boss moves back and does Wi-Fi attack in the front. Big patterns. Shooting spears. The boss shoots spears to multiple directions from the center. This happens around 3 times and the attack range covers almost all the map. Look at the red telegraph and be in the safe zone. Then dodge the donut pattern afterwards. Imprison rings. The boss summons rings that imprisons you if you get hit by it. You can either dodge all the rings or you can just stay DPSing the boss, and 2 people throw flame grenade before you all get imprisoned. The flame will free you from the imprison. Swiping scythe. The boss surrounds himself with whirlwind aiming a random player. All the players have to come to the inner side. After a few seconds, the boss swipes the scythe on the target. Look at the red telegraph and spacebar to the backside. Hammer pull. The boss flashes a hammer and pulls all the players who are in the blue telegraph. Then he smashes the ground doing large range of AoE attacks for several seconds. Dodge the attacks by moving around. Rectangle AoE attack. The boss shoots arrows to the players. At the same time, players have rectangular mark beneath their characters. This mark generates puddles on the floor that does gradual damage on players who step on it. Dodge the puddle and DPS the boss as much as you can. Thunder strike. The boss strikes thunder on the map. Watch where it strikes and stay in the safe zone. Your attack speed and movement speed will decrease for a few seconds if you get hit by it. Hammer strike. The boss aims a random player and strikes the hammer, which does AoE attack on the field. Watch the telegraph and dodge it. Chasing scythe. The boss throws scythes to all the players. These scythes chase the players for several seconds. If you get hit by it, then you will get jailed and receive massive damage at the end of the pattern. Move around and dodge the chasing scythes. AoE line attack. The boss assigns lines on all the players. After a few seconds, the line will spread in 2 directions, which does damage to the players. Go to the corner, and when it shows the telegraph, dodge the lines. Well guys, that's all for today. Thanks for watching and see you guys on the next video. Until then, stay Giga Chad. Bye bye.